listener-supported KTOO. Welcome to Juneau Afternoon, broadcasting live from the homelands of the Occoquan and on demand as a podcast. It's Friday, July 17th, 2026. I'm your host, Boston Christopher. Gwyneth Cheese, Hawa, Tuxknusum, Salamat. Thank you for joining the conversation. You can also join us on our live stream on KTOO's YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram pages. And you're going to want to tune in because we got some live music in the studio. It's a weekend of contra dance and live music via the Rainforest Romp. We have live music with the guest band Raven and Goose, and we take a look at all the activities happening which begin tonight. St. Vincent de Paul is known for its thrift store, low-income housing, and warming shelter, and on July 26th, they are hosting a whale watch adventure. We talk with new executive director Molly Carr along with Dave Ringel. And summer is in full swing, and the Juneau Commission on Aging's Linda Kruger and Deborah Craig have some information on transportation and also some updates to some upcoming events, including this month's Walk to the Library event. Those conversations are coming up this hour on Juneau Afternoon. And before we get started today, I just wanted to mention there is an emergency preparedness for vulnerable populations workshop and resource fair coming up this Sunday, July 19th at the Valley Library. The Be Red Cross Ready presentation in person and online is from 12 to 1 p.m. The planning workshop and resource fair is from 1 to 3 p.m. You can make an individualized disaster plan, complete a contact card for your fridge or wallet, and learn how and where you can keep your important documents safe. There's also one-on-one guidance for older adults, individuals with access or functional needs, and medically fragile persons. This is a good workshop to go to this Sunday in preparation of the upcoming GLOF flooding that will be happening sometime in early August, I believe, is the expected date at this point. If you're on the stream, you can see the QR code there to get yourself registered, or you can go to the American Red Cross. This is Juneau Afternoon on KTOO. Support for Juneau Afternoon comes from Tongass Federal Credit Union, a member-owned financial cooperative offering checking and savings accounts, loans, and digital financial services. In Juneau at 8585 Old Dairy Road in the K Plaza and at tongassfcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
Support comes from Nugget Alaskan Outfitter with outdoor clothing, gear, and footwear for the whole family. Now carrying On running shoes and Gooder running sunglasses. Located in the Mendenhall Mall and online at nuggetoutfitter.com.
And now, live from the red carpet stage right here in KTOO, it's Raven and Goose. That's Raven and Goose right here live in Studio 2K at KTOO. You are listening to community-supported Juneau Afternoon at 104.3 Juneau and 91.7 Juneau Ock Bay and online at ktoo.org. I'm your host, Boston Christopher. You can also join us on the live stream on KTOO's YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram pages. 3 days of dancing and workshops and at St. Anne's Parish Hall will kick off tonight. It's the Rainforest Romp, and it is dances, workshops, music, and more. And it all begins this evening. Juneau Contras is bringing it to you, and now I am joined by Daniel Martin, who is with Juneau Contras. Ganesh Wasiti, how are you, Daniel?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited now. Ganesh Chish for having me, Boston.
Of course. And then I have of Raven and Goose, I have Goose, which is Grace Fellows. Wasiti, welcome in. How are you today?
Thank you. Yeah, great. Happy to be here.
Excellent. And then we also have Raven, which is Corin Zeekle, who is the, did I say it right?
Close enough.
What would say it for me? Because I saw your face.
Corwin Zeekle.
Oh, what did I said your first name wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry. Corwin. What did I say? Corbin?
Corin.
Okay, sorry. You probably get
Which
that
is
a
also
lot.
the name of our caller tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
Everyone's going to get us very confused.
So it's Corwin Zeekle, and you are Raven of Raven and Goose. Yeah, sorry about that.
Thanks for having us on the show.
Of course. Pleasure to have you here. So let's first talk with you, Daniel, just a little bit. So I know you've been on the show before talking about contra dances. You've done some special events in the past. This seems big. This seems huge. This seems like large and in charge here. 3 days.
Yeah, absolutely. And you just heard them, so this is a big deal. I first saw these guys 2 years ago in Seattle at the Folklife Festival, and I've been working on getting them up here since then. And so this has been the culmination of a big old process and a whole lot of work by a whole lot of people. And we're so excited to finally have an annual Contra Dance event back in Juneau, which hasn't happened since before COVID.
Oh, that's amazing.
So it kicks off tonight, Rainforest Romp, St. Anne's Parish Hall. That's like downtown, 5th and Harris Street, something like that, the usual spot where the Contra Dances are. And it kicks off at 7:30. And then we've got workshops tomorrow, more dance in the evening, and then an afternoon dance on Sunday.
Wow. And for the uninitiated, what is Contra? What is Contra?
Yeah. I actually always struggle to answer that. It's kind of just the most fun you can have with a group of people and a band. Like, I smile so much my face hurts. But broadly, it's like a group dance, sort of it's a folk dance in origin. And it's a whole group of people dancing where you dance with a partner, and you dance with different partners, and you dance with different people throughout the whole thing. There's a caller that tells you what the moves are, and the moves are just like, you go here, you go there, you do this thing with this person, you do this other thing with this other person. It's very approachable for people who have no dance experience at all. Every Contra Dance will have a whole bunch of people who have never done it before, and they walk away like having had a great time. And
is it like oranges and apples to square dancing? Like, is it similar but different?
It's similar but different.
Yeah.
It's similar but different. Yeah. So for sure, all the folks who are used to square dancing, like at Folk Fest and stuff, this is a very easy translation from square dancing. It's a slightly different formation, but yeah, it's the same idea. There's a band, and there's a caller telling you to do stuff.
Right. So that's something.
Yeah.
Are the steps a little bit like more accessible? You said.
Well, they're different.
They're
different, and I mean, I like contra dancing better. It's just there's more. It's maybe more. I don't want to start knocking square dancing. I'll really make some enemies in Juneau. I'll really make some enemies in Juneau. So I don't. But what I like about contra dancing is that it is very dynamic, and you're moving through the space, dancing with different people, and progressing through the hall, where each time the tune goes around, you have a new group of people to dance with, and it keeps moving. It has this like real like incredible like kinetic energy to it.
Oh, that's cool.
That when it's synced up with the music, and the music is really, really good, which is going to be tonight and this whole weekend, it's just it's really just so much fun. It's just the most fun that I have.
Cor, when I saw you wanting to chime in there about contra dance, tell me a little bit.
Oh yeah, if people want to come this weekend but they haven't danced before, do you think they'll be able to do it this weekend?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. So Corin Wake is our illustrious caller. I just wanted to confuse everyone, so we have Corwin with the band, and we have Corin doing the calling.
And Corin with a K.
Yes.
Corin with a K,
Yeah.
indeed,
Yeah,
yes.
that's interesting. Okay. And Corwin is with a C. Yeah, all right. We're going to learn all these names this weekend for sure.
Yeah, so she'll be calling, especially if you come tonight at 7:30. That will be the best time to come if you've never done this before. But if you can't make it tonight, you can show up at 8 o'clock tomorrow. That's when our Saturday evening dance starts. Or even better, come to the afternoon workshops that Corin is going to be teaching. Also, it's going to be at St. Anne's, and there's going to be 2 different sessions. There's going to be like a 12:30 session, a 2:15 session. There's going to be one for dancers. The one for dancers is going to be at 12:30 tomorrow at St. Anne's. And all the details for this, you can find it on Facebook. Just search Rainforest Romp, or you can go to bit.ly/Rainforest Romp. No capitalization, and that will take you there too. And you can just show up at the door tonight. No need to buy a ticket in advance. Tickets at the door are $20 to $30 sliding scale, which is an amazing steal.
Yeah, and you mentioned that tonight at 7:30 there's a beginner-friendly walkthrough.
Exactly.
So, as Corwin's saying, if you haven't done it before but you're interested, maybe you've done it at Folk Fest. For Grace and Corwin, Folk Fest is huge in Juneau. It's in April every year. And so a lot of people know this kind of music, but maybe they don't know this kind of style of dancing. So this is a great way to get yourself immersed into that. Dress comfortably, bring clean indoor dance shoes, and be ready to smile until your face hurts. That's the notes I have here, which is pretty fun. Okay, so Raven and Goose, let me talk to y'all. So welcome to Juneau. I heard you saying, Grace, before we got on the air that you'd never been this far north before.
I have never been this far north before.
That's so cool. And when did you get here?
Last night we flew in pretty late. Our flight was delayed, and
Okay.
it was a little bit of a trek to get here from California, which is where we came from.
I see. Okay. And you, so you'll be here for the whole weekend. So you're going to get and you're getting a beautiful day today.
It's
oh
beautiful.
My gosh,
It's so sunny. It's great.
So hopefully,
We
Daniel,
packed for the Arctic tundra.
Yeah, we thought it'd be colder than this.
we hopefully Daniel will be able to get you out into the countryside a little bit and see some of our beautiful city here while you're here, not
That'd be
just
great.
teaching workshops all weekend. So tell me about your beginnings as a duo. When did that happen?
You want to? Yeah, I mean, it was like we were a couple first. We met actually at Lark Camp, which is a traditional music and dance camp in Mendocino, California. So we met in 2019 there and started dating. And then in 2023, we played our first Contra dances. You want to talk about what got us started on Contra dance?
Yeah, I grew up doing like all different kinds of folk music, especially with my parents. And after my dad passed in 2022, I wanted to get back into it, having not done very much in like the traditional music's world for a while. So I wanted to play some contras. I didn't know who to do it with, and I sweet talked Grace into giving it a try, having never done it before. And then we turned out to like it, and people turned out to like us. And now it's been pretty much our whole job, and we get to travel around the country playing lots of dances for lovely folks like y'all.
That's so cool. Yeah, Grace.
I think that first, we played about like 9 dances on our first little tour, which was the first dances I'd ever played. And we thought it was maybe going to be like a one-off project. We didn't really have a plan. It was just like, Corwin's dad had died and they wanted to do something to kind of like honor his memory. And then people liked us. And we're like, okay, I guess now it's 3.5 years later.
That's so cool. And are you in other projects as well? Do you do other music ventures and other bands or that kind of thing?
Yeah, I'm a singer-songwriter. So we have this other project called Taos, which is like folky pop music that we also play. And we basically tour like both bands at the same time.
Oh, that's kind of cool. All right. That's interesting. And so, Corwin, when you started with the violin, how old were you? Young, old?
I think it was like my 4th birthday, and my dad put a fiddle into my hands, and I cried because I didn't want to. But many
and look
years...
at you now. That's amazing. So it started when you were 4.
Yeah.
Wow. And did you just have like a teacher at the time, or how did that work?
Well, I grew up in like folk music communities where there are tons of great musicians everywhere, and people having jam sessions at other folks' houses and going to music camps. So I was around it my entire life. My parents had a community band for some like English country dance music, and I was sleeping on the floor under the piano while the band was playing for the dances. So it was very much in the puddle with all the osmosis and just sucking it all in since I was a baby.
I love that. And is this kind of music, this folky style of music, is this what you love to do the most?
For the same reason as before, I'm a mutt. I like doing all the different kinds of music,
Right.
having grown up in like eclectic communities. So I love doing contra stuff. I love playing jazz and swing dance. Love doing singer-songwriter stuff and working with different bands. But since we're on the road so much, we mostly do this and Grace's songs.
I see. Okay. And Grace, you've been playing the keyboard. Is that your primary instrument?
Yeah, keyboard, guitar, and vocals are kind of my 3 main instruments.
That's so cool. When did you start songwriting?
I was like 11 when I started songwriting.
11?
Yeah.
Do you remember, do you have like songs from that day? Like, do you still have some of your lyrics and stuff?
Oh, yeah, unfortunately.
I always find that so fun. Like, I remember trying to like write poetry in high school.
Yeah.
It's just so bad, right? It's just so
It's
bad.
terrible.
But you grow because you iterate and you sort of learn and you kind of figure it out.
Yeah, you got to make a lot of bad art to make good art.
Yeah, for sure.
Not as much as Grace, but I'm a songwriter too. And I remember my first song I ever wrote, I was 12, and I remember writing it out on a piece of paper while my mom picked lice out of my hair.
Oh my gosh. Do you remember what the song was about?
I think it was edgy preteen stuff.
Yeah, right. Of course, yeah. And so, what kind of style would you say your singer-songwriter stuff is? Is it sort of you kind of said it's like folksy pop?
Yeah, it's like folky pop.
Yeah, okay.
Kind of mixed between those 2 things.
Are we going to hear any of your originals this weekend? Or is this mostly contra dance this weekend?
Potentially, we've started doing some pop like fusion with our contra sets, so we'll play like the traditional tunes like you just heard, and then go into like a pop cover. Like we're doing some ABBA and like Lady Gaga and Chapel Roan and stuff that we like mix in with the.
You layered in with the.
Yeah, it's
that's
a fun thing.
Fun.
And for the waltzes as well, it's like common for people to sing waltzes sometimes. So I do some of my original songs as waltzes sometimes.
If anyone wants to hear them soon, we're doing another radio show in about an hour, a little bit less.
Yeah, I think at 4 o'clock.
Go ahead.
At 4 o'clock in the KXLL studio. I believe these guys are lined up to play on Kelly's show.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, that's right next door here. That's our sister station, KXLL. So tune in to DJ Kelly at 4 o'clock and you'll hear more music. We're going to have another song here in just a second, but I want to go back to Daniel and talk a little bit more about the schedule for this weekend. Like, what do we have in terms of what kinds of workshops are we going to be getting this weekend?
Yeah, so there's workshops. So really, I will say that the main thing is the 3 big dances.
Okay.
Friday night, 7:30 is when it starts, 8 o'clock on Saturday, and then 2 to 5 in the afternoon on Sunday. The workshops are also super great. There's going to be a workshop for dancers, a workshop for callers, for people who are interested in calling contras. Mm-hmm. And there's also 2 musicians workshops, and the musicians we have so many great talented musicians in town. The contra community would love to have more contra bands, more musicians playing contra dances. Like, these contra dances, the regular monthly dances, it's 50 to 80 people every time, basically. Yeah. So it's the most people you find in a room, most dancing people you will find in a room in Juneau. And it's a great fun for the band. We pay money for people to do it. It's fun all around, and the band also gets to take home some cash. So the musicians and the dancing workshops will be happening simultaneously. They're all at the Parish Hall. That's up on 5th Street, the St. Anne's. And the first session is 12:30, and the second session starts at 2:15.
And I noticed here on the flyer that I'll also post on the web page for this episode today, the Sunday one is listed as English Country Dance. Is that something a little different? Or?
Yeah, that's it. I think it's sort of the grandfather of contra dancing. So it's sort of the old world version before it got all. Before it went in different directions in the U.S. and then also got revived in the 60s, and then sort of has had its own revival since then. But so English Country, that's a part of this whole weekend, and that's going to be across the street at the Arctic Corp building. But if you're not sure where that is, just show up at St. Anne's. There will be clear signage, and so that's going to be Sunday in the morning, 10 a.m. to noon. So,
Okay,
yeah.
great. And you're on Facebook. You can just search.
We're on Facebook, Rainforest Romp.
Juneau Contras, right? You're on there too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Go to Facebook.
Okay,
Yeah,
go to Facebook. Right.
It's a public page, so even if you don't have Facebook, you can still find it.
Excellent. Okay. And we're gonna hear another song. I just want to mention real quick. Shout out Corwin. Do you guys have a website? Yeah.
Yes, we do. Corwin.us/ravenandgoose.
Okay, great. Corwin.us/ravenandgoose. Here they are once again from the red carpet stage, all filling up this weekend for the Contra dances. It's Raven and Goose. Amazing. Raven and Goose, the Rainforest Romp, all this weekend. Juneau Contras. Thank you so much, Gunchies, for being here. This is Juneau Afternoon on KTOO. Now it's time for this week's Our Living Lands from Native Voice One.
This is Our Living Lands, and I'm Jill Freitas. The Sky City Buffalo Ram Dancers are a group from the Acoma Pueblo. Our Living Lands producer Daniel Spalding attended a recent performance at the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center in Albuquerque. After, he spoke to the dancers about the importance of land, animals, and culture.
For listeners who may not be familiar with the Buffalo Ram dance, can you explain a little bit about the dance and what it represents to your community?
My name is Shane Keen. I'm from Acoma Pueblo. My Indian name is Hayuye Ushrakranotsesh. As far as the Buffalo Dance Group, each Pueblo in New Mexico, out of the 19 Pueblos, we all have a different style of a Buffalo dance. Each Pueblo is unique and different. We're not all the same, but when we do perform, we do pray from our hearts. We pray for the people, not just at home, but for everyone around the world. We pray for the land, we pray for the animals, we pray for Mother Earth to have water.
How does the Buffalo Ram dance reflect your people's relationship with the land, animals, and the environment?
As far as the representation of like the ram and the elk, they just copy how they see the wildlife out in nature. And as far as the way they move, the way they would dance, if they would hear the drum beat, they will perform as if the animals were here too as well.
As environmental changes continue to affect indigenous communities, how do cultural traditions like this dance help strengthen resilience, identity, and connection to place?
As far as all that, I usually like to tell my kids to believe in who they are, where they come from, because that's going to be carried on for generations after generation. So I tell them to have belief.
When you perform the Buffalo Ram dance, what do you hope community members and visitors take away about the Pueblo of Acoma, its culture, and its enduring relationship with the land?
Well, good afternoon. My name is Philip Garcia, and I am from the Pueblo of Acoma. I come from the Big Sun clan on my mother's side and the Little Turkey clan on my father's side. And I think for me, when I'm out there performing, my hope for the people is that they take some of this good feeling, right? The good energy that comes from the songs, from the movements, from the different colors, everything that we have, that they take that with them and they use it in a good way, that it connects their spirit with whatever good energy that we're providing.
How are you working to ensure these songs, dances, and cultural teachings are passed on to future generations of Acoma youth?
Our thing is to bring in the new individuals and teach them while they're young, to get them, interested in dancing and moving and, in the songs, learning how to sing, learning how to drum, also, taking care of whatever stuff that they have, whether it's their shells or their bells, everything that it has, it serves a purpose in the dance.
Can you share a little bit about what it means to you as a traditional song carrier to share these songs in front of the visitors here at the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center?
We put a lot into the songs that we're out there doing. And our songs are not just words, but they're prayers. Prayers of good feelings, of good healing for our people, the land, the animals. And that hopes that we bring the rain clouds in, and everything that we do, is, part of, this whole earth, I guess you want to call it, right?
As dancers who share your culture and, songs with the visitors, what does this mean to you as one of the youth dancers?
My name is Lauren Vayo. It means very good. It feels good to dance for the people and pray for them, even though they may not understand it. They just tell them that it's a prayer and it keeps us doing our tradition and learning new different things.
How does it feel as a Pueblo tribal member to share your culture with the visitors?
Hello, my name is Chloe Mais. I'm 16 years old and finished my sophomore year of high school. It just makes me happy and to see people around and watch us and see how we do things and what we pray for as a native person coming from any Pueblo and stuff.
And what is one thing that you hope visitors can take away from watching you perform here at the Indian Pueblo Center?
Mainly the prayers that we send out to people, if their family's falling ill or something, then we could send it out to them, wherever they're coming from, around the world, and then I just like to bless people whenever I'm dancing.
Tune in next week for more stories about how climate change affects tribal communities. I'm Jill Freitas for Our Living Lands, a collaboration of Kiwanis Broadcast Corporation, Native Public Media, and the Mountain West News Bureau.
Native Voice One, the Native American Radio Network.
Support for Juneau Afternoon comes from Heritage Coffee Roasting Company, providing Juneau with locally roasted coffee for over 40 years, with cafes and drive-through locations throughout Juneau. More at heritagecoffee.com. This is Juneau Afternoon from your listener-supported public media station, KTOO. I'm your host, Boston Christopher. I am joined in the studio now by Molly Carr, Executive Director, and Dave Ringel, Director of Strategic Development. I love that title, by the way. From St. Vincent de Paul, they have an awesome whale watch tour happening a week from this Sunday, July 26th. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that and what they do out there at St. Vincent de Paul that this whale watch tour will be supporting. They are known for so many things. You're known, obviously, for the thrift store, which everybody loves and donates to. You're noted for your low-income housing, also the warming shelter. You have so many things that you all do out there. And Molly, you've been in this position as interim and then now as the full-time or fully employed non-interim executive director for about 6 months total, right? So
that's correct, yes.
Wow. And so tell me a little bit about your work and how you're enjoying it so far out there.
I absolutely love it. I feel every day we make a difference. The organization is just phenomenal. Our board, our volunteers, our staff work diligently every day to improve the lives of others in the community. And I'm just grateful to be a part of it.
That's amazing. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
And Dave, tell me a little bit. You used to be the executive director, but then you switched into this other role.
I tried to step down.
Yeah.
And I kept finding myself drawn into it in different ways.
You're Al Pacino in The Godfather.
You know, I see the good in the community, and St. Vincent de Paul is an organization of service and relationships, and the relationships keep drawing me back in.
Yeah. You can keep talking over your alarm.
Yeah, no, that's my wife calling, but she'll wait. You know, I remember one morning, I got woken up early in the morning.
Can you silence that in some way? Yeah. She's calling to say, hey, Dave,
no,
I'm hearing you on the air.
No, she's missing her meds.
Oh, I see. Okay, go ahead.
There was...
Yeah.
I was woken up at 2 a.m, and the Warming Shelter Road was blocked off with 10 cars, and it was blocked off with 10 cars, and something in the back of my mind said, I know a private snowplow operator at 2 a.m. when there's 18 inches of snow, and you know, it was a lot of frustration at first, and then we got the warming shelter back to where the plow operator went there, 10 people from the shelter went out because they were worried about their cars, and we got everything unstuck at 2 a.m. There was no disaster. But and there were a few other times where I find my services valuable, and I like making a difference. And you know, watching Molly take over unexpectedly, it reminded me of 6 years ago when I sort of got thrown into the fire.
Yeah.
And St. Vincent de Paul has a way of bringing out the best in people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I enjoy working with people. Watching the warming shelter expand has been a huge effort, but it's been rewarding in seeing the difference it makes.
Yeah, that's cool. And Molly, what was your background before you were starting to work at St. Vincent de Paul?
I was with Southeast Alaska Independent Living with SAIL.
Okay, right.
As an aging disability resource specialist.
I see. Okay, so similar work in
similar
a way.
Work, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And what are you preparing for in terms of the warming shelter for this winter? Will it be back at full capacity? What's the kind of thing that we're planning for?
Well, the warming shelter's been open all year round.
All year round, okay.
Yes, so we were able to work with the city and develop a budget and a program and continue the services, and it's made a tremendous impact on the community in a very positive way. A lot less hassles for JPD, Bartlett, all the emergency services that it entails when people don't have sustainable housing or shelter.
Yeah.
And so we're on average about 45 to 55 people a night, and we're fully staffed.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Our attendance is the same now as it was in January.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Great.
Yeah.
it surprised us that people still use it. But it also surprised us how the area around Teal Street, where we have our regular offices, looks 100% different this year.
Yeah, that's amazing. And then I know I mentioned it in the intro, but not only do you have the warming shelter where you house people temporarily on a nightly basis, but there's also the low-income housing that you do to try to get people back on their feet. And tell me a little bit about that program, Molly.
We do. Well, we have 3 housing programs that are not located on Teal Street. And then we also have the transitional housing program where we're able to provide supports. At times it can be an emergency situation for families or individuals. And we have a transitional participation program that can go up to 2 years to help people get back on their feet. And we provide case management through our navigator and all the community services that we can help them connect with.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, all of that stuff isn't cheap to make all that happen. Like it needs support. You have to do the things to make that happen. And so you've been doing these whale watch tours, I think, for a couple years, right? At least
3 years.
3 years. And these are fantastic. They're so much fun. So tell me a little bit about this one, Molly.
Well, we're really excited this year. We've scheduled it a little earlier, hoping for the better weather. July 26th, next Sunday from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Ooh, those early evening hours.
Yes.
It's so perfect to be out on the water at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And Breezen is donating food. Red Spruce is donating food. Allie's Bakery. So we're going to have a dinner on board, and we're just really looking forward to it.
Absolutely. That's so cool. How much space you got? How many people are?
We have room for 125.
Okay, 125. And there, I have, for those who may be on the stream, I'll also put this flyer up, a link to it on the webpage for this day, or you can find it over at svdpjuneau.org. And that's where you can get more information and find a way to the link to tickets and all that good stuff. It's July 26th, and it's from 5 to 8 p.m. It's going to be so cool. Is that like a good time of day to like guarantee almost that you see some of the whales?
You're going to see a lot of whales, and there'll be less traffic out on the water.
It's quieter.
Yeah.
Quieter, yeah. I mean, if you get a day like today, oh my gosh, that's going to be so gorgeous.
We've had good luck on these trips, getting a lot, and we'd like to schedule around the end of July, partly because it's better weather, partly because the anniversary of the death of Dan Austin is July 25th, that he is sort of the father of St. Vincent de Paul. He was the general manager for 20 years until he died unexpectedly in 2018.
Oh, wow.
And so it's a way to remember and celebrate moving forward.
I see. Okay, that's kind of cool. Yeah. And Molly, for those who might be curious about helping out at St. Vincent de Paul,
we do have a volunteer program.
You have a volunteer program, yeah.
Yes. Feel free to call our main office. We have volunteers at our thrift store, at the warming shelter, in our maintenance department, all areas. Very happy to take volunteers.
Yeah, because you do so many things, and you probably need people in various different roles, right?
We do.
Anything from landscaping and helping with our senior garden at Smith Hall to we have people almost every morning get to the warming shelter at 6 o'clock and pass out food while our staff helps make sure everybody gets out the door. And it changes the atmosphere because people enjoy seeing new people there, and it helps make them feel more together and more like they're worth something if somebody's going to take time out of their day to come and serve breakfast.
I see, yeah.
Yep. And if you can't go and you want to make a donation, we have several people who donate tickets, and what it allows us to do is take the residents and the workers who wouldn't otherwise have the opportunity to go on a whale watch, and they join other people for the whale watch. So it's a real neat atmosphere where you have donors, you have workers, you have people who benefit from the services together, and it shows how much we are alike when we sometimes think of those people or that worker, and it helps see the humanness in us all.
That's cool. So you can donate your ticket and have somebody who's maybe can't afford to go to go.
Yeah, 2 years ago we had an 89-year-old on his birthday. One of our low-income tenants see whale watching for the first time.
That's kind of cool.
Yes.
I love that. Yeah, St. Vincent de Paul, it warms our hearts. We obviously, I go there pretty much every week or almost every other week to to the thrift store and try to find some stuff. I also donate a lot, and we've heard different times of the best day to you can donate anytime, but I remember I think one of the times you were all on and we were saying like Friday is a good day.
Thursdays and Fridays are not as busy as Wednesdays and
Wednesday's the first day of the week, so
everybody donates on Wednesday and everybody is off on
the weekend.
Saturday.
Yeah.
But we're open for donations 4 days a week, and your donations directly help our business by some of the employees we have. This is their first job to get back into the workforce. Any proceeds from the thrift store go directly back into St. Vincent de Paul. So you might be selling a real nice blanket, and we take that money and buy 10 appropriately sized blankets for our warming shelter.
Right.
So we take the donations and we make them directly serve the people of our community.
St. Vincent de Paul, the Whale Watch Tour is Sunday, July 26th from 5 to 8 p.m. Head over to svdpjuneau.org to find out more information and get yourself involved. Molly, Dave, it's such a pleasure to have you here today. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yes, thank
and
you.
Enjoy the rest of this awesome weather today.
You as well.
All right.
Yeah,
Get
absolutely.
out there.
This is Juneau Afternoon on KTOO.
This is Bird Note. This chatty fellow is a marsh wren, a sprightly brown bird with a cocked tail. Wrens are known for their amazing singing, including loud, complex vocalizations. And they have a huge repertoire of songs. Some bird lovers have tagged the marsh wren the Heinz 57 variety bird because scientists have recorded 57 different variations of its song. That's quite a mix of notes. Listen for one often repeated phrase, though, a recurring chugging, like the sound of a sewing machine or a toy machine gun. Nightfall doesn't faze them. A male may sing straight through the night. Opinions differ when it comes to describing the singing of the marsh wren. Ornithologist Alexander Wilson said its song sounded like air bubbles forcing their way through mud. John James Audubon said its song, if song I can call it, resembles the grating of a rusty hinge. Today, though, all would agree this is just one of many species to benefit from the North American Wetlands Conservation Act. Marsh wrens usually forage out of view, hopping up only for brief moments. You're most likely to see movement among the cattails, and not even see the bird, unless it pops up on a cattail to see what you're doing. Learn more at birdnote.org. I'm Michael Stein.
Support for Juneau Afternoon comes from Emil Mackey at Country Financial, offering insurance for home, auto, and business, and life insurance to protect your family in case of death. Located in the Juneau Nugget Mall. More information can be found online or by calling 907-500-7017.
Support from Hanson Gress, seeking curious people who like technology, network engineering, and customer support. Opportunities for those who thrive on problem solving. Details at hansongress.com/careers.
You are listening to Juneau Afternoon from Studio 2K, dedicated to Carolyn Hobbs Peterson. I am your host, Boston Christopher. Aging, so cool. Everyone is doing it. That's the motto of the Juneau Commission on Aging, whose mandate is to advise the CBJ Assembly on actions and policies that improve the quality of life for seniors. And once again, I am joined by Deborah Craig and Linda Kruger for this month's view on topics and events and all other things that are going on. Gunachish, Wasiyati, how are you today, Deborah?
Thank you. I'm great.
Excellent. And Linda, welcome in. Gunachish?
Yeah, it's wonderful. How can you not be great on a day like today?
Oh, man, the sun is just a-shining.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to get out there.
Yeah.
So we have updates, right? We've got things going on. Let's start with you, Deborah.
We have some great updates, and I just want to wish everybody a happy Friday. Get outside and get some vitamin D. I hiked up Eagle Crest today, and there were a ton of kids, like 20 kids hiking up Eagle Crest with the Eagle Crest camp. So I also ran into a friend, and I wanted to mention this. She'd been helping an elder that she didn't even know very well. But it was somebody that needed help with rides to appointments, grocery shopping, generally helping out. And her friend recently passed away after a very short fatal illness, but she was there for her. And I just wanted to shout out to Lori and all caregivers and the people who help their family members, their neighbors, and anyone in need by sharing their hearts, help, and resources. It is what makes Juneau a beautiful community to live in.
Shout out to all the caregivers.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So speaking of help, the City and Borough of Juneau is asking for help right now. The CBJ and the Juneau Coordinated Transportation Coalition are updating their Juneau Services Transportation Plan to identify needs for us and service gaps and establish priorities for transportation projects that serve older adults, people with disabilities, or lower-income households. So if you or anybody in your family fit any of those categories, and even if you don't, we've talked about this before, we're all just one accident or one short illness away from needing the help of others. And so sign on for the 2026 Juneau Transportation Needs Survey. Just go to the CBJ website on your browser, juneau.org, and on the face page, there's a list of little items, but right there is the link to the survey, and we need your input by July 27th.
So that's not too long
that's
from now. Yeah.
not too far from now. So your input is critical. And, they can't fix what they don't know about. So these surveys are really important. And we've also talked about in the past, if you're a regular user of Capital Access and you need some help or want to provide some input to them, please call Jody or Matthew at 907-789-6901. And I might repeat that because my neighbor said, Deb, I didn't catch that phone number the last time you gave it to me, 907-789-6901. So that's my help today. And Linda has some information about Red Cross emergency preparedness.
Yeah, I was mentioning that earlier at the top of the show, but we have a big thing coming up this Sunday, right?
Yay! It's a big thing on Sunday with American Red Cross and SAIL, Southeast Alaska Independent Living, and AARP, Emergency Preparedness for Vulnerable Populations, which includes seniors. And so older adults, individuals with access and functional needs, and medically fragile persons. And it'll be at the Valley Library from 12 to 1. There'll be a Red Cross Ready presentation. And then from 1 to 3 is a planning workshop and a resource fair. And you can come out and you can write your own person-centered emergency support plan and an emergency contact card that you can have on hand that's all filled out and ready in case there's some kind of an emergency. You can have that in your wallet or on your refrigerator where people can see it. And you can also learn how and where you can keep your important documents safe and how to put together a go bag and what should go in your go bag in case you have to make a quick exit from your house in the case of a flood, for example.
I don't know what you're talking about. Flood? That doesn't happen here.
Can you imagine?
Only annually.
Oh, so again, that's Sunday at the Valley Library. From 12 to 1 is the talk, and from 1 to 3 is the workshop and resource fair.
And for those folks that want to attend, you might want to call Capital Access right now because you need to give them a little bit of notice that you might want to attend something like that. And if they have a number of people that want to attend, they might be able to coordinate a pickup of several people to go. So please call Capital Access if you don't have transportation, you need help getting there. And that will help you get to the library and get all that information.
And let me see if I got the number, 789-6901.
Whoa, good. How did you do that?
I don't know. That's very good. Just trying to put that out there. And
you must be a young'un. You still remember all those numbers as they come up. Good job.
Well, in the old days, you had to remember numbers. Remember?
Right.
You didn't have phones that just had everybody's name in it. You just push a button. In the old days, you had to remember 7 digits all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So what else is coming up for the Commission on Aging?
Well, before we go to the Commission on Aging,
okay.
we're going to stick with the AARP.
Oh, AARP, yeah.
AARP and Parks and Rec and our walks to the library.
Oh, right.
Because
There's
we have a walk to the library coming up next Wednesday, July 29th at 10 o'clock in the morning, and there's a change. They're working on the HEPSCO barrier, speaking of flooding, and the bridge across the Mendenhall River won't be open, the bridge from the trail to get to the library, and that was our plan. And so we've moved the starting point to, it will start at 10 o'clock in the morning on the 29th at Adair Kennedy Park. And so we'll start in Adair Kennedy Park, walk to the Valley Library, have some snacks and treats, and then walk back to Adair Kennedy Park. So that's the update on this month's walk to the library.
Okay.
And then I'll just mention, thinking ahead, next month, the August and final walk to the library is to the Douglas Library on August 21st, again at 10 o'clock. And that's going to be a really special one because August 21st is National Senior Citizens Day. And so we'll plan some special treats for that day. So we'll put that on your calendar, and we'll talk about it next month too, probably.
Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds
So if you're
cool.
a senior citizen, or even if you know a senior
absolutely.
citizen, you can go on the walk.
And these, I wore my Walk Southeast shirt today. You don't have to be part of Walk Southeast to participate in the walks to the library. Anybody can come, all ages. Grandparents can bring their grandchildren. Grandchildren can bring their grandparents. Bring your neighbors and friends. Anybody can come. It's everybody's welcome event.
Everybody's welcome. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Nice.
And it's interesting. I had we had Andy Hirsch on the other day. We're talking about elections and Juneau coming up and all that kind of stuff. But we were also talking about commissions and how there's so many commissions and volunteer service that people can get on the commissions.
Yep.
And you two have been on the Juneau Commission on Aging for a while now. And I know, are there any seats coming up on the commission if somebody wanted to get involved? Do you know if there's seats available?
Good question. It's a little early. This is on our agenda for future Juneau afternoons. But
Okay.
this December, we will have a little bit of turnover, and we will be recruiting for new members that are interested. And there's seats that are open to the community. Not necessarily seniors, but open to people that are just interested in senior-related issues and seniors as well. So we will keep you posted on that.
Okay, yeah, because I know we were looking at the list and there was open positions in some of the other different commissions that are out there. The Human Rights Commission and the Sustainability Commission. There's so many commissions. There's just a lot of ways you can get involved with your city. Obviously, the Juneau Commission on Aging is just one of those ways.
One. And we are full up. But yes, there are lots of opportunities for people to volunteer and add to the community.
Okay, cool. So are those the main events for this coming bit?
Well,
Or you
we
got anything
also
else?
have, I just wanted to give a plug to Monday Mahjong is really going strong. We thought we were so clever bringing Mahjong to Juneau. Well, it turns out it's a national thing. And so maybe we're not so ahead of the curve after all. But Monday Mahjong is going strong, and we're trying to find another location for the Valley for a Valley Mahjong on Wednesdays.
Ooh.
And the other thing that's going on is that we keep meeting with Parks and Recs. We're hoping to start pickleball at Marie Drake again after Labor Day. They need to fill some positions. They have a recreational supervisor position and some monitoring positions that they need to fill. If you're interested in a fun job with Parks and Rec, making $18 an hour and hanging out with really fun, healthy people, give them a call or email them at parks.rec@juneau.gov for more information, because we need not just volunteers but paid workers for those positions so that we can put on a lot of these events through Parks and Rec.
Love it.
Yeah.
Deborah Craig, Linda Kruger from the Juneau Commission on Aging. Thank you so much. Chief, get out there and get moving.
Oh, that was what I was going to say. The sun is beautiful. If nothing else, get out on your porch or your deck and enjoy some fresh air and sunshine.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Get moving. Have a good
Get
weekend,
moving.
everybody. We're going to go out today with a little Josh Fortenberry. This is his song called Groundhog. This is Juneau Afternoon on KTOO.
I could argue with a statue, still think I won. And I've been holding back a promise and holding out a gun. I've been lying to my parents about how much I run. But that is not the worst thing I've done. Worry family is a contract no one ever signed. And I think love is eyes wide open, true hate is blind. And I've been hiding from my friends, but none of them are prying. I never learned to take a hit, but I'm trying. watch another movie about living the same day over and over, about some trouble getting sober, about trading places with another, about some enemy turned lover, about the realities of war, or learning what we're fighting for. And I'm not dreaming anymore. I'm not dreaming anymore. I'm too scared to play it cool. You can smell it on my breath. And I rarely write a song that doesn't mention death. Think my choices have no meaning, yet I'm filled with regret. And in light of all of this, I'm surprised you haven't left.